welcome along.
Yeah.
Round two.
Yeah,
How are
round
you?
two. Round two. I don't normally get past the first round. He knocked out a few points, so but reaching round two is a big thing for me.
How have you been?
Good. Yeah, everything's good. I mean, everything's brilliant here, is it? Yeah. So every day's a new day. Every day is something new. Every day something's happening. Every day it's positive. And like, I'm lucky. I go out to supporters clubs and I meet a lot of fans, and they're all buzzing. They're all proud to wear their shirts. They're all proud to. They can't wait for the season to start. One or two might be getting carried away, but nevertheless, it's positive.
It's the overkill, Jackson.
Yeah.
When was the last time the Blues fans could look forward to a season and dream like that?
Absolutely. You know, and now they've got a pride as well. They're walking around with their chest stuck out and head in the air. And I often describe it like, I don't think there's a man alive that is not proud to be Blues, right? Always proud to be a Blues fan. But there was a period we weren't proud of our club. Now we're proud of our club again. And I think that in itself is such a massive step, you know, and it all comes from the top. You need great leaders in anything, whether it's war, whether it's famine, but whatever it is, you need a great leader. And we've got great leaders. You know, we got Tom Wagner, who's just blows me away every time I talk to him. You've got Jeremy Gale, who's grabbed the metal and he has turned it into something because he cares, because he's passionate, because it matters to him.
How about Hawks and Blues as well?
Yeah, well,
it goes
if you're like that, then the only winners are Birmingham City and the fans, because he's a fan and he's desperate to be successful for this football club. So he'll work, 30 hours every day. You know what I'm saying? In a 24-hour day, he'll work 30 hours just to get it right. And, I think that's brilliant. It's a wonderful time to be a Blues fan, an amazing time to be.
Well, since we last spoke, there's been obviously the sports quarter has developed and the rail and the whole cancer thing. Tom Wagner, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, firstly, I'm not surprised because I see pictures of Tom Wagner. He's going to number 10 Downing Street. He's meeting all the leaders, important people for decision making. He's going to create thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs in this city. So if you work out what investments coming from the council side, it's more than matched by not having to pay toll money because we're giving people opportunities to work in an area that definitely needs it. Forget the football side. The football side would be brilliant, can't wait. But the sports quarter is more than just football. It's going to make that area, it's going to regenerate an area that needs it. And it's going to become all of a sudden a place to be, a place to head for, which will create wealth, it'll create jobs, it'll create an atmosphere. And I think it's brilliant. And the train link, which will now go forward, all of a sudden, everything just falls into place. And don't underestimate the part Tom Wagner's played in doing that, because he's gone to the people that matter and he sold them the idea. He sold them the dream. We'd already bought into the dream, haven't we? He sold them the dream about Birmingham as a city, about this, not only the football, but about its culture, about its workforce. He's bought into that. They can see that, and they are now working with him. I tell you what, it couldn't be better for my city that I love, that I grew up in. I was born in. I can't tell you how, please forget the football side. Yeah. What's happening in my city with that regeneration is just truly amazing. So it's every right. He's done a wonderful job. And then you get onto the football, which is the beneficiary, because it's part of the sports quarter. Yeah. Part of it. And wow, you just can't. Sometimes you have to pinch yourself, is this happening? And then you hear Tom speak or Jeremy speak, and you go, yeah, it is. And more importantly, you come down to the ground, and I come down to the ground on match days, and I go out into the cop to go around score, the fans out, then I go around the fans out and chat, and everyone is smiling. Everyone's wearing a shirt with pride. They've got their kids with them, and their kids are beaming. They don't want to be Man U fans or Spurs or Barcelona or anybody else. They want to be Blues fans.
That's the difference. That's a massive difference, from having young kids in school. Yeah. My son hasn't wanted to admit that he's a Blues fan, even though he's been coming down here since he was a baby. All of a sudden, he's telling people he's always a Blues fan again. Yeah. Because all his mates are Villa fans. He's just been getting dug out for the last 3 years.
And now, when you've got the Tom Brady effect,
Well, I was just going to say with the documentary trailer
Well,
last
yeah.
week.
First trailer is your Aston Villa FM.
Yeah, he knows how to get. He knows how to get to the heart.
Listen, he knows, and he's been. If you, I've never been an American football fan, and I'm to be totally honest, I had no idea who Tom Brady was.
Fan.
Right, but when I met him, and what an imposing character he is, by the way, and he's just got that aura about him. So then I started to check out about him. I speak to friends in America who are all NFL, and they go, Tom Brady, whoa, and that's how big this man is. And he's now talking from the Alpha Birmingham City. And I think he helps out Chris Days with nutrition for 5 years. So, he's playing a very important part because he's given us profile credibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You mentioned Birmingham City in, I don't know, Nashville. Who? Now, Tom Brady effect. Wow. Birmingham City.
Yeah.
You can see shirts in Nashville.
And that whole layout as well with the Wrexham
Yeah.
thing is a good
Yeah.
little ploy, isn't it?
I love that.
Yeah.
He loves that in a pop. And some of his stuff is brilliant.
Yeah.
When he starts talking about, I can't argue with you about the upper find my other NFL championship wing. I love all that stuff. And it's my sort of banter. But it makes a point.
Yeah. I think it epitomises blues banter as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of.
And we've got the best. We've got one of the greatest sportsmen on the planet.
Yeah.
It don't come any better. Don't come any bigger. And we've got a leader who's proven in the world of finance and success in Tom Wagner. With that combination, and generally with his love for blues, running the club, well, it better get any better.
It's only going to,
It
it's only
could-
going to spill out onto the pitch, isn't it? And you can see through the players as well.
If you remember last game, Mansfield, oh my
Oh, God, yeah.
days, the atmosphere.
Considering what it was in the grand scheme of things, we've been promoted from League One. It shouldn't really have been that big a thing, should it? But the atmosphere, it's like the hairs on your arms again. Isn't it? Like the Ipswich game, not the.
No,
big ones.
I remember talking to someone, and I said, this takes me back to when we beat Ipswich in the semi-final. That atmosphere was just incredible. When we beat the League Cup run, and we beat West Ham here, and Villa in the quarterfinal, and they're all very similar. Just absolutely blew me away. And I can't tell you how, as a blues fan, sitting there, and if I'm honest, I'm an old journalist as well. He's very cynical that wife. I watch it, and I'm buzzing with it, and I just wish I was a bit younger to enjoy a lot more of it,
That's the thing, isn't it? Like our granddad passed not long ago, and he never got a chance to see this, and our dad has, and for the older fans that have lived through the harder times, it's really nice, isn't it? That for those that are still around,
well, I think about my dad a lot, and he brought me down here in 1956, and I don't know whether I told you last time, but he brought me down my first ever game, 1956. We beat West Brum, but we were in the cup final that year, and we were sixth in the first division. And I remember my dad, he got 2 tickets for the final, and he took my older brother Frank, but he promised me he'd take me next time. I'm still waiting. So this is. My dad brought me. We got the 19 from Aston, from New John Street, West. The 19, which dropped us at the bottom of the road, and we walked all the way up to Emmeline Street, all up St Andrews Road, all the way. But we had to walk all the way home because the bus stopped at lunchtime. But to be with your dad, and I see a lot of it now in the car parks, the dad and the son, the mom and the son, we come together. I love it. That's what makes it. And sometimes you have to explain to people about the generational thing of football. It isn't just, see, I never saw, I was only a young lad. I don't really remember. I saw them play, but I don't remember Jeff Hall. I don't remember thinking, wow, what a player, because I was only a kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember Gil Merrick. And because of me dad, I know all about them. And now dads are telling, and I see it when I go around the car park, and I see it when I'm talking to them, they go, if I've got a player with me, I don't know, say, whoever. Those up there. To say he belongs. This is when I look on and went to Wembley and I watched the repeat, the tramway, the E-play. And so the little kid immediately knows E-play. So that generational thing, that's the beauty of football. It isn't like pop music where you die and you're gone. This is
historic.
Somebody once said to me, and it's the truest thing here, about being a blues fan. You're born one, you die one. So it's a generational thing. You can't explain that other than my dad passed it all down. But is the players he loved, and I pass the can to my sons, and they'll pass it down. And that's the way it goes on. So no player is ever forgotten. That's why we still revere Joe Bradford. I haven't seen Joe Bradford play, or Frank Womack, or Freddie Harris. I haven't seen these guys play. I know all about them.
Yeah.
Because it's
Since spoke about it, yeah.
Did-
You was more or less part of that squad, weren't you, than all you want? I've seen so many photos, and you might as well have been on the subs bench, weren't you?
I was. I did
Broadcasters from the bench.
I did the broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Next, I
Have you shin pads in your boots on? Just think that.
that next door up at you who moaned non-stop because he never got on, which was a disappointment for being a Blue Nose. But yeah, to my shame, I mean, I was with them at the hotel. Me and Colin Tatum, funny enough, who's for Birmingham, we were with them at the hotel in Reading University. We had the best times. And I mean, did we talk about this last time?
Very fair.
So
Yeah,
we did.
briefly, yeah.
So we had, you know, we were in the hotel and we had the best of times. But the final, I can't tell you, it was third division trophy. But you'd have thought it was the World Cup.
Yeah.
And that's
Still watching now, and the amount of people there and the atmosphere.
So we had a guest on a couple of weeks ago, Malachi, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he just happened to mention that his uncle is John Gale.
And we were like, oh.
Gavey.
Yeah, and he was just like, okay. And we were like, fanboying. John Gale turned to Pele that night, didn't he?
But what I'm saying is, it was only the third edition. And that's where sometimes there's a snobbery in football that I hate. It was the third division, but we won it. And you try telling anybody that was there, it didn't matter. They loved every minute.
I got you.
You like the reverse hypocrisy though, like with the final last year where we can go, oh, do you know what, Peterborough. It's only the Virgin Trophy.
Don't you?
I'm glad Peterborough won and no one else.
It's their trophy because they're a third division club. But remember now, we were in the third division then, or league.
Yeah.
But we were a League One club under these people. And that's why. Enjoy it, Peterborough, because you're a League One club. For all due respect, good luck.
Yeah.
Our fish, we've got bigger fish than Ryan. Our vision is a lot farther afield. And I suppose that's just my defence mechanism.
Yeah.
I still wanted to win one.
Yeah.
Still got it.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah.
But
If we'd have won, we'd have defended it. Oh, it's not. It's not.
I'll make no mistake. You know, I have one dream to see my team win the FA Cup. I've seen them win the League Cup twice, but only once when it mattered. I want to see them win the FA Cup more than anything.
So take me back then. So 56, you were talking about the Cup final, was Man City, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the following year, you were touched on last time that Aston Villa had sung Keep Right On privately at Wembley in their Cup final.
Well, the Daily Express did the song sheet, right? Because there was no tannoys, and we had a daily. Funny enough, at the recent Antiques Roadshow, somebody brought one from the '56 year by the Daily Express, and it had got The End of the Road in there, but it was only just adopted by us then, so really haven't got it. But they did all the other songs and it got everybody singing along. That was what they did in those days without tannoys and records of music. And in 1957, same thing. So you've got all this man conducting all these Aston Villa fans singing Keep Right On. I love it. And I enjoy telling them. They go, no, you're wrong. I'm saying, I promise you, 1957, you all sang Keep Right On. Have you noticed how I turned into a bit of a Tom Wagner there? But you know what I'm saying? It's all good arty, you know, and that's the way it should have been.
Yeah.
It's not World War III.
No. So, and then you, so sorry, back in the 90s, and you turned into a bit of a pop star, didn't you? With the old Blue Nose Brothers.
Well, it's interesting because I said to me and Dance, we worked together, and we had this, you know, like a band of work called, well, we were that bad we decided to call ourselves Who But Them to save people the trouble. But we were actually quite decent, and we did a few things for staff and stuff and ready. But then when people left, we had nowhere to rehearse, because you can't leave and go to another radio station and come back to the building. So it sort of drifted away. But Dance, I remember we were talking, and I said, Dance, I've got this idea about and he said, no, Griffin, what can we do? And let me get this absolutely clear. Dance is an absolutely brilliant musician.
Yeah.
He's as talented as any. He can play any instrument. Now, I could play rhythm guitar and get away with it, if you like, hide myself with strum, but I can't. I'm not a musician. But I can write lyrics. So I said, we had the two. I wrote the lyrics. Really, he arranged the song, and we did Singing the Blues, which they still sing on the Tilt League at match days. They've stopped playing it on the tannoy, which I'm disappointed in. Every so often the tilt would break out into singing the blues. It really caught on its song ever so well. And we enjoyed doing it, we did that, and it was very, very successful. And so we thought we'd do a follow-up, which wasn't quite successful. We did a follow-up of the 1978 Rod Stewart Argentina song.
Second album.
Yeah, the second song, Syndrome. I thought it was okay, but you remember the Rod Stewart song in 1978?
Yeah.
When the blue shirts run out at St Andrews, our hearts will be beating like a drum. We did that version.
Yeah.
Didn't do too well. But then we did, when Steve Bruce was there, we got relegated. So we did Can't Keep Us Down to get back promotion, which is a yellow song. And Jeff Lynne gave me permission to use it.
Brilliant.
So we did, I've been a blue nose since the day I was born. And so we did that. That was quite successful. And then we did one more, which was a version of Keep Right On, but we wanted to do the terrace version rather than Rockin' Berries had done one, which was what Beat, and we wanted to do the terrace version. And so we did that. And the backside, we did, the B-side was On Our Way, classic. We did that. And that isn't played here either, and the fans love that. That gets everybody singing. So those were things. And then we decided to call it a day. That was it. There was nothing else we could sing about.
Was it artistic differences?
No, not really. Not really. He was good and I wasn't.
To be fair, when I was doing a bit of research on it again, one of Ian Dancer's blog pages was about the songs. And to be fair, the run-up is talking about On Our Way, and it was before the final. He said, who knows, if we do okay, maybe it will catch on. This felt before Arsenal, wasn't it?
Exactly. And I thought it would On Our Way because everybody sings it everywhere, so I thought this would have really caught on. But it only catches on if you play it.
Yeah.
And maybe
Just get onto DJ Mikey and things.
As soon as you really are seeing Eminem and yeah, that's what you need. You need a Mikey remix.
But to be fair, he's I like what he does. Mikey, he gets him at it. I like that. I do like that, to be fair. And despite opposition in quarters, I fought and made my point clear about keeping the original Keep Right On. And I think it's amazing when they play it and then they suddenly stop it and the crowd take over. That is sensational.
Well, this is what I've said to him. He's saying he's asked them to do it, clean it up and do bits with it because it's jumpy and it's bitty. I said that's the beauty of the.
It's
1890.
Yeah. It's Harry Lauder. For good that. Listen, nobody remixes "You'll Never Walk Alone" at Anfield.
Yeah.
Nobody touches that. Nobody touches the Z-Cast theme at Everton. Nobody touches "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles" at West Ham. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to update everything.
No. And it's nice that they've put it in at a certain time now where you can cut it off for the crowd to come in.
But when you drop it and the crowd,
again, it's goosebumps.
The goosebumps goes unbelievable. I just was happy it was played, but whoever decided just to play it up to kick off and then drop it and then the crowd.
Yeah, Mikey was saying that was his thing.
Well, I must read him actually, Mikey, because that is absolutely amazing. Because they take over and it's a fantastic.
Yeah.
Did he say somewhat similar? Because the final was it? And
the
crowd are singing and saying, "Put it up," and he was going, "No, it's time. We'll just leave it and we'll let it. Let the crowd go on." You need to just be playing it by ear, don't you? What the crowd are doing,
and he does it. And listen, fair play to him. He's got
good lad.
He was brilliant at the Mansfield game. I'll be honest.
Oh, God, yeah.
Tom, I know it wasn't a Blues Brothers song, but where did
I've got some copies, by the way, if you sort of one idiot. Me and Dan will sign a copy.
Yeah, 100%. Raffle them up. House Foundation or something. Your mother's into Tupperware, your father pissed his pants. We're all doing the Cardiff dance. Where did that come from?
Was that one of yours? Was that your big
Is that part of Steve's song?
No.
One of your release?
No, but I've heard that.
You got any idea where that came from?
No idea at all. But
It's a good one, though, isn't it?
all doing the Cardiff dance. I've heard it.
That was a phenomenon, wasn't it, back in the day?
Yes.
I don't know the right reason behind it.
Yeah.
But it's whatever makes people get off their seats. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And if we played a little part, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But somebody else would come along and
Well, you still hear the giggles and stuff, and it still makes you giggle, that Cardiff dance. It's absolutely irrelevant to anything now, because I'm not playing any of them, but whatever.
It actually doesn't mean anything, does it? But people just...
People are like,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, we've always had those sort of things at this club. I think this club's been better than most at the fan seed.
Yeah.
I think. Listen, we went through a tough time and crowds dropped and all the rest of it. That weren't the fans' fault. The fans were just fed up. You know, now they've been re-engaged, and the thing is, they've got hope and belief.
Do you find that's a bit of a strange kind of argument that falls within the quarters of our own fans, where people come back because financial or it was terrible, and then they come back, and then you've got the thing then of hardcore that never went away, then digging out you're only here for this and arguing with each other.
Bullshit.
Nonsense. Just be happy. Just be happy that the ground's full.
Just be happy that it's full, you know. And people, there isn't a club in this area, that hasn't gone through tough times when the crowds have dropped ridiculously low. They've all had it. It's football. Football grabs you like nothing else. It hurts you like nothing else. As I've said before, you can change your religion, you can change your wife, you never change your football team. I don't trust you if you do. So so the fact that you're not at the ground doesn't mean you're any less of a supporter. Maybe you're frustrated, maybe you can't afford it. Whatever reason, just be glad they're all back in the fun. Be glad that we're all here singing. I think, the fact football fans having a pop at each other from our club, I think is all. I'm sorry, I don't know if there's any reason for it. No fan is better than anybody else. If you paid more because you can afford to sit in the garage and what, not make you any more of a fan that is on the other side. In no way. So for me, just enjoy the ride, because we are on one hell of a ride, and it ain't over yet. I'll never forget when I spoke to Tom Wagner at the start, repeating it. I apologise, but when I asked him about the Premier League, and I said, I bet you can't wait. He went, no. He said, that's the first. Get into the Premier League. Wow. That did it for me. I've got utmost faith in the leaders. Utmost faith that they'll prove it. And look at the ground. Even now, the boxes on this cup side, they're refurbing them. Not that long ago, but they're doing it again. Mm-hmm. The bar is always being raised here. The bar is being raised daily. And that's why the times are exciting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you talk about sport, football hurting you like no other sport. Bare knuckle boxing, how does that hurt you?
That hurts.
Literally.
It's amazing. The story, I remember in 2015, a cameraman, John Cherry, was at Wolves, funny enough. I was working for Talk Sport at Wolves, and he said to me, I need a favour. Can you do some commentary at Coventry Sports Arena on bare knuckle boxing? And I'm a boxing freak. I love it. I went, no, I'm not touching that. He said, I need a favour. I said, okay, I'll do it for this one. So I went in and I met the owners, Jim Freeman and Joe Brown, and I said, look, I don't really want to be here. So I'm telling you now, I don't want to be here. I'm a boxing, but I'll help out and I'll do the best job I can.
Do you feel like you were cheating on boxing?
Yeah, I've been there ever since. Been there ever since, because it's the most honest sport I've been involved in. I've been involved in. Boxing, for me now, you look at boxing at the highest level, I'm sorry, people avoid people. I don't want to fight him. Already, we had a fight the weekend. Usyk, great boy, battered, did well, as we all knew he would. Unified the titles. The first words before the program ended were, yeah, but it's already been decided that one of the titles, mandatory he'll fight again. So they're going to split him again because it's money, more money.
And that's Chisora, isn't it, as well, the mandatory? I'm not being funny. I'm really happy for him, the why he's held up.
The nonsense. The man's now the unified champion. He should fight for the unified belts. But no, because it's money. Because each organisation sees money. And that's why I hate it. I'm not going to fight you because you might beat me. I'm going to fight you. In bare knuckle, you don't get to choose. You're matched. Don't take the fight. You don't fight. You don't fight again. Yeah. Remember, no, you are matched. You've got to take the. If you're ill or you whatever, that's fine. But you don't pick your fights. It's exactly the same rules as boxing. In fact, we're safer, medically proven. In glove boxing, 10 rounds, 12 rounds. You keep getting punched, your brain's doing this. In bare knuckle boxing, you get punched, you get blood, you get a cut, and that's it. There's more blood, but less. There's no brain damage. And we've got people who great blood boxers. I know that We've got people on the rota that have fought Anthony Joshua, they fought Dubois, they fought Fury, Huey Fury, not the main man, but you've got all sorts of boxing, that sort of pedigree. Barry Jones, he fought Kell Brook for the British title. We've got really people that have got great pedigree in boxing.
Well, that one a couple of weeks ago was just wet sword and mixed.
Yeah, well, we're on a trajectory. Remember UFC when it started? Everybody, oh my God, we're on the same trajectory, and we are now all over the world. There was one show we had 134 million hits, which is amazing. We have, and I was in Nashville recently doing a show, so I love it. It's honest. The fighters are brilliant, and the rules are. One of the referees, Ian John Lewis, he's done WBC, WBA World Title fights. This is what we're attracted to. And now Talk Sport are involved.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
And now TV, they're all honing in because they've seen
Vice TV. Yeah.
Vice TV do it. Yeah, all of them.
We've got Connor on next week. Connor Tierney.
Yeah, but he's fighting for all the organisation.
Yeah, but he's similar.
Yeah, but he started with
everybody. It's a whole conglomerate of people doing it.
He fought the BKD, kind of big Blues. We've got others as well. James Kennelly, Blues. We've got Dan Podmore, who's Blues. We've got people, and they're world champions. So Birmingham's quite a hotbed for bare knuckle.
But used to be any Friday, Saturday night in town. You could.
But now they're getting paid for it. but this is, I can't tell you how strict the rules are.
So what's a stoppage? How easily is a stoppage called for cuts?
Referee will look at it.
Yeah.
If it's under the eye, he won't stop it. If it's above the eye, going into the eye, he'll stop it. It's like boxing. It's no different. There's absolutely no different. And there's only 5 rounds, 5 frees. So it's not 12 rounds, where, as I said, you're getting punched. But it's thrilling. It's exciting. It's been a massive TV sport as well. The people have watched it. We've got a massive crowd of footballers have been along and watched it as well. The players Coventry, the players from Watford. We've had actors and actresses turn up, It's growing by the minute. And when anything grows, lots of people all want a slice of it. And they don't want to be part of it.
Because obviously, from our experience of it, was backyard boxing with, is it Dada?
Dada 5000.
Yeah, that was backyard field. Sorry, yeah. That was the first time we saw literally like, wow. Yeah. And these guys really are, and obviously he became the flag bearer then, didn't he?
It's great, Dada. He was in at the start in the American side, because we had American, which was BYB, and we had BKD in England, John and Jim, and then Mike Pasquez, who had in America, and then Mike bought the majority shareholding of BKB in England. Jim and Joe are still directors, and they're still running it in the European side. But it's now become a massive company now. Honestly, it's incredible. And selling out everywhere we go, we sell out, and it's just, we've got Leeds, we're first in Bristol, we got Bristol in September, Leeds, October, December, Sunderland, shows all the time, both here, and then in between them, the shows in America. So our fighters go to America to fight, we bring the Americans here. It is unbelievable, and it's as professional. The medical supervision we have is as good as anywhere. As good as anyone.
So how do you feel then or what's the general consensus for like the ex-pro boxers coming over and dipping the toes in? Is that something you're for? Is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm for everybody, because you've got different types. You've got the toe-to-toe guys, and you've got the classier boxers. Barry Jones was a classier boxer and could fight as well. So you've got all sorts, and that's what makes it such a great school. It's a wealth of different types of fighters.
Yeah, because most recently, obviously, you had Frankie Gavin, didn't you?
BCFC.
BCFC, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that's another organisation.
But he was obviously more of a crack boxer, wasn't he?
But Frankie was a great technical boxer.
Yeah.
Bare knuckles different.
Yeah.
Bare knuckles different. I wouldn't be surprised if Frankie doesn't fight bare knuckle again. It's a learning thing, by the way. And let me tell you right now, I've commentated on over 600 fights. I've commentated on 50, 60 shows. There's no way on this planet would I get into the league with these losers. It's a good one, because they are tough guys.
Does anyone go in there to fight for the long gap? Is anyone in there for 5 rounds?
Yeah, sure, yeah. And technically, we've got some really gifted fighters, technically. I mean, I know that I was talking last week to Lee Selby, ex-pro grub capser from Wales. And I was talking to him at Bolton, and he's up for it. He fancies it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fancies it.
And surely that's going to bring the audience and the participants up, because people want to fight him.
Absolutely.
Let's see where we are.
Paulie Malinage, he's fighting.
Well, he's fighting. He's fighting in Bristol.
Is he?
He's fighting in Bristol.
But you'd have never watched him, because he was a technician as well, wasn't he? You'd have never looked at him and got, right, I could.
Well, he fought Sammy Newton.
Yeah.
Paul was world champion. And in fact, I was with him in Nashville. And then he came over to Bolton to promote the Bristol show. So listen, it's great. It's gaining in publicity. For anybody who says, oh, it's violent, listen, you get more brain damage and more people have died in blood boxing than men are. Right? Bare knuckle is the purest form of fighting. If you go back to John L. Sullivan, that was Ronnie Morris. So it's the purest form of fighting. But what we have is rules.
Yeah, it's all regulated.
Rules. You know, like I'm not a UFC man. I don't like any sport where you can hit somebody when they're down. I don't like that. I mean, we have the same rules as boxing. The referee, you can only hit on the target. You can't hit low blows. You can't hit back of the head. You know what I mean? We've got the same rules as good boxing. So I'm loving it. And anybody that criticizes it, go and have a look at it first, because it will blow you away, as it did me. I'm still there 10 years later.
It's a difference between commentators. We had Cash the Flash on a couple of weeks ago, and
I did all these shows.
Yeah, we had your commentary on his knockouts.
Yeah, I did his shows. I did
your commentary adds a little bit of
lunacy.
Yeah, just like a kind of excitement too, because of who you are. But
familiarity, isn't it? Yeah. It must be legit because Tom's on it.
Well, I did it, and it was what I did was, and I remember when I was asked to do that by a guy, Paul. He was the governor of the organisation, the WKO, and Paul Ingram, and he said, "Do you fancy doing it?" And I did it. I did it for Sky TV for 2 years, and I worked actually for Trans World, the program announced Sky, and I loved it. I went everywhere with it, and Cash was the big name league, three or four times world champion at different weights.
Brilliant, Cash.
And he used to come into the Banner band and all that stuff. It was, and I had great co-commentators as well. You're a bit young, but Cynthia Rothrock, who was 7 times world judo champion, was also China O'Brien in the big movies, the police movies. She was my co-commentator as well as others. I loved it, and still see some of the guys around today. I do, some of the fighters. Yeah, that was another very, very interesting part of mine, and I loved it. I wasn't stuck on Muay Thai, if I'm honest.
Right.
It's a bit slower, but kickboxing I loved.
Is there similarities between the commentary? Do you take with football and fighting?
But because then,
like a one-on-one, but it takes
over, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It takes over. You're describing something, and I never plan. There are commentators who have already their lines ready to say. I've never been that way. I just take it. Whatever I say is what I say in boxing, kickboxing, bare knuckle, football. It just takes over.
Something stuck with me that you said in the last one, that you've got to say, okay, and they're on the edge of the area looking towards the railway.
No, you've got to do, yeah. Too many commentators think it's about them, when really, like I'm looking at these desks we're sitting at now, you know, and I hate commentators. And I said last time to go, and is attacking on right to left. Well, no, that depends where you're sitting in the ground.
Yeah.
So describe it. Attacking. If I'm doing a commentary at Roos and I'm saying he's attacking the tilt, it's a left wing corner at the tilt. You know what I'm talking about. You can visualize it in your mind.
Yeah.
You can play the game. It's on the halfway line. It's on the cop side of throwing. It's your lane stand halfway. It's 2 yards outside the D at the tilt edge. You know. You can visualize in your mind. Too many commentators think it's about
just assuming that you
know, and it's not.
He's got a ball. He's on the pitch. He's got a shot. It's not got him.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It just. Make it, listen, it's entertainment. Make it as exciting as you can, you know. And you don't have to tell lies, but you can make it as exciting as you can, because even a 0-0 draw, boring. And I think I told you last time already, my boss ripped me a new one when I was talking. You know, I said, this is boring. He ripped me a new one, because I could have turned that into something
expected, isn't it?
Not lying.
Yeah.
But if one scores a late goal, so that was the idea. I should have gone with can they get that goal? And I didn't. And I learned quick. He had a way of saying, I'll never forget it. Saying, "Are you handing in your bags?" Richard Buck, "Are you handing in your bags?" No, actually not. But
I'll be less bluesy next time. Sorry.
yeah, but
Yeah, that's the.
but he loved it. Richard Park absolutely loved the passion, because he was the same when he was a commentator in Scotland with Rangers and Celtic. He loved that passion, and I love the passion as well. It's about passion. Everybody that comes to it, you can't come to a football match and you go, "Well, I just come because I want to." No, you get caught up in it. So why shouldn't I get caught? Difficult if I'm doing it for a national broadcaster, when I've got two teams.
Yeah.
Then I've got to be passionate about both. But if I'm doing it a radio station, it's Blues against us, I'm going to be as passionate as I can. Not biased, but passionate as I can about Blues and not care about Arsenal. And that's the way.
Bit of an iffy question. We won't get in if you don't. If you're not telling that a bit iffy, but what's your thoughts on the women's football?
I think it's great. I mean, I actually love watching what the women are doing with the game. What I can't do, and I think this is where people make a mistake, they compare it to the men's. Don't compare it to the men's. Treat it as a game in its own right, and you'll love it. And I've been down here and watched it. Some very talented girls, and I've enjoyed it. But what I haven't done is compared it to the Blues playing the day before. You know what I'm saying?
Do you not find it strange the other week, and it obviously got the publicity that he was expecting to get, when Switzerland women played an under-14s team, boys teams are pre-tournament friendly, and got absolutely hammered? Well, what was the thinking behind that? What for you as the notches?
In sport, if the top men's tennis players played the top women's, the men would win all the time physically. That's not detrimental to women. It's physical. That's what happens in the world.
So why would you pitch one against another?
I
don't understand what positive was ever going to come out of it. Because if they beat the boys, was it they were then going to lean in and go, "Oh, look how women beat the boys"?
No. I'll tell you what it was, though. It's a big learning curve. Because somebody once said to me, it's true. You don't win and lose, you win and learn. And that's the key. So the Swiss women would have learned a lot from that defeat.
And there's a lot of talk about it as well. So I think
fan of the women's team. I don't understand why the.
I don't know who made that decision. Yeah. What I do know is when I watch them, some of them are very technically gifted. And you know, people like watching it. You know?
We need to get Arthur in to show him back. I know he's not done.
I'm happy with it. Yeah. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with anybody playing.
Yeah.
It's like, so why would you have there's over 70s mates team, there's over 60s, over 50s, there's disabled teams. Nobody says they shouldn't be. Let people enjoy.
And there seems to be a sick fascination as well with men enjoying, not wanting to watch it, but being first on the internet then to dig it out. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. There was a big
one of that, isn't he? And stuff.
There was a journalist the other day, and I think it was more than John Percy, and he's just put a thrilling penalty shootout team, and someone straight away, "Why are you lying? Why are you saying this? Why aren't you saying it's the worst thing ever?" You know what do you want him to say?
It's all about opinion. Yeah. If that's your opinion, fine.
Yeah.
And if you don't like women's football, fine. I have no problem with it.
But just don't watch it.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not going to get into an argument with anybody about it, because I'll make my decision by either turning it on or turning it off there. And that's what everybody should do. And people love it. The TV are giving it a lot of, and it's growing. Yeah. And the quality, the quality's growing. And the atmosphere when England, the Lionesses play, the atmosphere is very family. Yeah. I love it.
Oh, gotcha.
I love it. And my granddaughter goes to it. My grandson and granddaughter. I'm happy. Why not just enjoy it?
Yeah.
Until you start comparing it to men's, then you're asking for a problem.
Yeah.
You're asking to bother. So keep them separate, you know, and that's absolutely fine. And as I say, there's some very, very, and I've played against them, some very technically gifted women, by the way, that could do things in the football that some of the men can't. So I'm not gonna knock it or anything, because I think it's like any school, just there. Why do we have to be critical? But you know what I've noticed as well on social media now? A lot of people get paid for the amount of interaction. So they say things they don't even believe to get everybody having a go at them. And one of them will be women's football, right? And everybody has to go down with that.
Yeah, like
and
Joey Barton.
Or another one will be whatever it is. They'll say something that they know people will go, "You're wrong," and they'll go, "Right, go." They don't care. They're earning.
Yeah.
And that's why I treat social media as a task.
With a bit of interest. So,
Well, I read it like a fiction book. I really get excited about it. You know.
You know what? The amount of AI and bots on there now, it's not even all humans. It's like an echo chamber. You put something on and you look at the responses or whatever. It doesn't even look, it's people.
And then, I mean, I'm fortunate to have a lot of followers. I was socially about 138,000. And I look at that and I think, I've got hundreds and hundreds. I think there's like 2,000 or 3,000 requests. But then I'm thinking, is that how somebody hacked it? Or are they already friends? Is that a hack? And am I going to get a virus? So I stopped accepting friends.
So your followers are going to upset the next American elections, don't it? The Russian followers.
Exactly. So, and all that AI stuff, it just drives me nuts. You don't know what's fact, you don't know what's fiction. So I ignore it.
Misinformation, isn't it?
I ignore it, man.
Right, a couple of off-the-cuff questions then. They're not on air. But I just wanted to drop on you as a football fan, as a Blues fan. So, take Christophe Dugarry out of the equation. Who is our best foreign import?
Well, that's a good question. You see, best impact on the game, best technically, best loved, which
overall impact on the club.
See, Alberto Tarantini made a great impact when he arrived. He gave it to from World Cup winning team Argentina, but could never adapt to what was happening here. He couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
I think Aliou Cissé for me made a big difference. Mikael Forssell made a huge difference to what we were doing.
Seb Larsson from it.
Seb Larsson, another one that made a massive difference. Just trying to think.
We never saw the best of Zarate, did we? We never saw.
No, not at all.
Because
I loved little Hannibal when he was playing. And we had
He definitely
Melinati.
Yeah.
Melinati.
Yeah.
He
liked to challenge.
He liked to get stuck in. So there's. I mean, technically, the most gifted we've ever seen is Christophe Dugarry.
Yeah.
Listen, he weren't here long enough to be a legend to me, sadly. That people view things differently these days. I look at somebody who's played 400, 500 games and given his life to the club differently than I do somebody who's played 20 years. So, and that applies to a lot of players.
Yeah.
To go back to that foreign player, we've already mentioned quite a few there, haven't we? Just trying to think of others that would have made. I tell you, Maxime Coley.
Yeah.
Maxime Coley. He was.
Yeah, I think he's a grey area because I'm pretty sure he qualified for an English passport.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was eligible for England.
Well, he wasn't born here, though.
No.
Right. And he played a lot of games.
He did.
He's got into the Hall of Fame as well. So he's quite.
He's still been going.
Do you know what? Playing during that period as well, wasn't that dark period? I think took a lot of the shine off his impact in me.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's left then and not really to the fanfare he deserved.
I'm just trying to think. There'll be somebody now who listens to this will go, well, they've left out that.
Put it in the comments.
I can't think. Yeah. I can't think of others.
Okay, so while we let that marinate, just for a bit of fun.
He was good, marinate.
Worst foreign import. Now I'm gonna nominate Ferdinand Coley for his single game against Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
You're not so Bragstad also.
You haven't even prepped me on these questions.
No, these are.
Ferdinand Coley takes some meaty.
Yeah.
I thought Walter Pandiano.
No, he didn't. He was quite easily beaten, if you remember.
But I thought
Pandiano
struggled to settle here.
Yeah, because essentially, and a big lump.
Big strong guy, wasn't he? But probably Ferdinand Coley would.
Yes.
He'd probably beat Bayern as well.
So you've seen some moving on slightly. If you've seen some iconic moments in football and boxing and kickboxing, what are still the moments that you have come across or that you could easily watch again that you like? Oh, it'll take you back to that feeling.
I got on 2000 and so that. Yeah. It's weird because I listen back to. I've never, because when you're working and doing the go, the producer's talking all the time, so I don't hear it. But I listen back to it, not long ago, and there's this program they put out for once, and that was a decent program. I only listened to it. When is it now? How long ago is it? 2011. It's when they bought. So I only listened to it recently, and I loved it. people that are no longer with us that we had in the first hour, the phone in afterwards, the joy, the absolute joy of people moving up, and the giggling of John McCart was just a mixed up. She didn't everybody. It was funny. I probably said before that I lost it with over Penny Martin swore. I lost the plot.
You were so coupled with
And I
the goal scorer and you commentating and the atmosphere and just what we felt being there. You were part of all of that, aren't you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I like to think that's what we're all part of a family, yeah. And I remember I listen when I listen to that, all I can do is John gigging. And I remember saying, "This is better than sex." And you hear him go, "It is the way you do it, man." Which, I mean, they're just moments. And just, I can't tell you how good that was. I also had that same feeling when we won the Leyland Daff, which is just, for me, the first time I've seen much when we winning from the Versailles Daff. So I think the Derby games, when we got back in the Premier League, was special.
The Hawaii 5-0 season, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had all that, We had the Eggleman, we had the players, we had the Horsfield, we had all that. We had everything going for us. So I've got so many iconic moments in my mind about doing games. And my first ever cup final, commentary against Spurs. First ever cup final I did. What year was that? Like 87. Commentary won 3-2 against a very good Spurs.
I was going to say, that was that one underdogs.
Massive underdogs. Like Blues were against Arsenal, And I've still checked it, and like 14 years, and I still check. So I genuinely thought there'd been a bomb scare the way the Arsenal leg cleared quickly. I really thought there was a bomb scare that had happened, apparently. By the time Stephen Carr held the cup, they were only men crying, probably.
Oh, that was the quadruple season, buddy. That was the quadruple.
I
No, they were a great side. I would have given anything to say hello to Arsene Wenger after the game. I would have loved it. I would have absolutely loved, because he'd arranged for Cesc Fabregas to pick the cup up more. I would have loved to have had a word with him. I've interviewed him a few times, by the way, and he's real at it. He in the World Cup in '98. I interviewed him in France a few times, and he's a gentleman. But I would have loved to just have a little word after the game.
See, that was a game of so many ifs and buts and maybes, wasn't it? Like Bowie wasn't offside, was he, initially? When the keeper should have went.
Yeah.
But then obviously Van der Vaart wasn't gets injured, but he was like that. He was in the form of his life, wasn't he? Van Persie. If he stayed on, would it have stayed that way?
I think you're confusing me with some of your kids.
Wilshere was the next best thing since sliced bread. I mean,
listen, knock it a great step.
Yeah. And
that what made it best for us, I think. And Alex told me that he put it up in the dressing room that the bit of his paper from Arsene Wenger saying that he'd arranged for Unique players if Fabregas to get the couple. He put that way and Blues off.
Yeah.
And let's be truthful here, they were better than Blues on the day.
Yeah. Could have gone such a time.
But as anybody, issue I'm talking about, people go mad at me when I talk about receipts against performance. Nobody I know talking about 2011 goes, yeah, but we didn't play it. No, they go, we won it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, we won it. Who cares that
they dominated on the scorecard there?
Yeah, who cares they dominated?
Tactical masterclass. We just went Route 1 at the end, didn't we?
Who cares that Koscielny and the keeper Chesney collided there? Who cares? Barry Ferguson could have been sent up on a keeper in man.
Imagine that with VAR, mate.
Who cares? Nobody, because we won the Carling Cup. I don't care. And then, of course, we had a season in Europe, which I absolutely love, with Chris Wood and Pete. Still playing, by the way, Chris Wood.
I've still lived it, so that's
crazy people. Yeah. So we had the absolute best of times. Yeah, so all in all, it's been a journey. But all that did was whet my appetite. I want a bit more of that. Because since 2011, it's been downhill until 2 years ago, Pete. Tom Wagner walked in. Now we're on that upward curve again. So a trophy. I know a lot of people say, oh, let's, finishing high in the Premier League. I want to win a cup again. I want to have that joy of going to Wembley. I want to have that joy of all the Blues fans loving it. That's what I miss, and that's what I'd love to see again. And I think you'd have come to these speeches, to be fair. I think Tom Wagner has to spiral at all. Yeah. I think we'll be a force. I think we'll be a force in football.
Well, we're looking at the transfer window reopened, hasn't it? And this talk that there's another 4+ incoming.
I don't know. I think there'll definitely be at least a couple. But the players they brought in look decent as well.
Yeah.
There's no question our squad is stronger now than when we were last
Yeah.
the Chaffee.
Well, by all accounts, it sounds like there's going to be some surprise and some little heart-pulling departures as well, doesn't it? But you can't get any wild progress, can you? Sentiment doesn't get any wild progress.
I can't think who's been here that long.
Well, no, they're not here about Alpha Mike. Alpha Mike's been linked this morning.
This,
But I still think.
I don't.
I hate so that. They're talking about 1.2 million or something like that. I just feel that.
I heard all of my bullings and everything. I'll wait till the club tell me it's happened. Because you remember, an agent trying to make something up for each player for you to the club. I'm not talking about Alfie Money's agent. I'm talking about the general. An agent, you've got a story out to test the water. Might not even be true. And I did I always wonder if somebody would do a little article in the paper working out how many people were linked to a football club and how many it's here. Nonsense.
I think you said it in the last one that an agent never has a bad footballer.
No,
They're always the best.
And they send you a video of his greatest moments. Of course they do. Of course they do. That's why Steve Bruce always said, I'm going to look at it. You want to
Going back to Ferdinand Coley, what happened there then?
I bet he had a great video.
YouTube, yeah, he had a brilliant video in the back garden. Yeah.
Well, it was off the back of the World Cup, wasn't it? Which is when Alou Cisse came, and he was amazing.
I looked at it, Cisse.
Yeah, so you go, okay, the right back looked good as well.
Does Wales count as follow? It's like a savage.
Yeah.
There's a bridge, isn't it, to get to it? So
yeah.
Savage count, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
As a Irish,
Yeah.
Stephen Carr. Because that's Ireland and not
Even
Ireland.
Damien Johnson. He's one of my favourites.
He was Northern
Ireland, yeah. But
yeah, we saw around Stevie Carr at the Macadam that he'd been with.
Yeah.
Great lad, Stephen Carr. He's
absolutely sloshed, isn't he?
He's a top lad.
Yeah, he's trash.
But he'd retired. He'd been pensioned. He couldn't play. And then we'd got him out and he's won the Carling Cup. Others he couldn't make that up.
And for all the time he done at Spurs, he's probably the most remembered. I don't know from the outside point of view, he's probably most remembered for being at the Blues and doing this and doing that and whatever.
No, he was a stalwart at Tottenham, wasn't he? He was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he was. Yeah,
Stephen Carr was a good player. Must have been before the game, the Blues.
Yeah.
At Spurs, he was one of their top men.
Yeah.
But he,
very Spursy. He comes to Little Birmingham and wins his first trophy.
Yeah.
And a top man, by the way. I see him in Marbella occasionally.
Yeah.
He's a top man. He's just living the life.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get him over again, by the way. So
Get Ryder on it, right?
No, I mean trying to get him up to the club.
Oh, okay. We'd love to get him for as part. That'll be brilliant. Yeah.
Trying to get it to the club because it's the 150th.
Yeah.
It's our 150th.
Yeah.
And only yesterday we had a antique roadshow here with people put their memorabilia and a lot of people exhibited their memorabilia. And I saw some amazing stuff that just blew me away. Talking to the guy who designed the Blues badge.
Brilliant.
At the 1 August competition. He couldn't make it up. And now and look at it, it's iconic, isn't it? That Graham Ball badge. And he designed it, And he brought the drawings in that he used to design last night. Right. So we had the best of days. And I saw things that there must be a wealth, a treasure trove in lofts around this city. So we're gonna have another one. Get all the memorabilia. Somebody bought a program. There was a footballer died. The Monday football could Tony Oldham. Hippo Whiteley playing for Hyder. And Villa had to be testimonial. Raised a lot of money. And I'd forgotten Blues did. Blues had a big, and someone got the program from it, and I've forgotten all about it. And he showed it. I was brought back all the memories, of all these great stars that played on that day to raise money for him. Little things like that you've forgotten. Somebody had got a season ticket holder for season ticket and night to repair team. With the first 3 tickets for a day, so you could come to the day. And of course, war broke out, the season ended, so it's only 3 ripped out. And because the league was stopped. I mean, then saw the stories and you look at that. Yeah. It just blew me away to see all the pictures and stuff. And we had Dealey Adebola there, Malcolm Page, Joe Gallagher and Keith Burchett talking about their careers in, at the club over those different areas. Yeah. And it's 150 years. It's a big year for Blues. And I love the kit, by the way.
Yeah, that goal looks really nice, doesn't it?
I wasn't sure at the start, if I'm truthful, but then I saw it. I fell for it. I love it. The goal.
It's mad. It's like the Sequoia last year, wasn't it? Where you're like, why is it dark green, not black? And then you see, no way, that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
So all in all, you know, they don't make many bad decisions, do they? You know, so yeah, so it's good. What else we're talking about here?
I think we're done, mate. So we'll wrap it up. We've got to finally. What advice would you give someone? Again, Brummy, trying to get into the industry now. It's probably a little bit different to when you
get into this
industry, or what? Just what are your points that you?
The industry's changed.
Yeah.
And one of the things I found was that people came to me for jobs when I was at BI. I had the 5 stations I was running at the time, and people came to me and they'd say, "Yeah, but I want to be in TV." And that immediately I showed them the door, because that's all people want to be on TV and stuff.
See what his second son.
Yeah, and I wanted somebody who was passionate about radio. Now, and them days, if somebody said to me, "Yeah, okay, so and watch them. What are the hours?" There were interviewers cut short. I want somebody who's passionate and cares, who wants to forge a career in the best industry of the sports journalism. There's no question. It's the best thing ever. And I think you've got to be prepared to work. Platform is hard work. Hard work, passion, enthusiasm. Forget all your university degrees. Everybody thinks that matters. Oh, I've got a 2.0. I don't care. I don't care if you've got a degree. That don't mean you're any good, by the way. It just means you're academic or you've got a certificate. So I'm looking for people with passion, with enthusiasm, hard work being the platform, that will work, that will do anything to get on. And that's the people I put around me. The Adam Bridges of this world, who were brilliant. Ian Danta, who went everywhere I sent him, you know, whatever game it was. Those sort of people, Ian Crocker, people like that had their hard work ethic and became very, very successful. But Jim Prateful became very, very successful because they all showed that same desire and passion that I have. So for me, passion, desire, but the industry's changed. Now, no local radio does football, only BBC.
You know what? Yeah. Anytime you're in the car and you try and find the game, it's not on, is it?
Not on. So there's only the BBC that do it. And once you're in the BBC, nobody wants to leave because it's a job for life, which is sad, really, because they can do. It's never been my way, if I'm honest. So I find the industry's different at the moment. But if you did want to get into it, you got to be prepared to come in and do anything. Come in, make the tea, do the editing, cut in the tapes, and do anything to get your foot in the door and get your opportunity. Because, you know, nothing's given in this world, to earn it. So earn it, work hard, and as I say, if you work hard, you'll get on. But it's a different industry to when I joined college.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough, I'm still in it, but I had lucky enough to have 36 years at BRB. It's a long time. And I've been, I think, 45 years, nearly 46 years, working in the industry and still doing stuff. Because I work hard. I ain't the best. Never ever said I was the best. But I work harder than anybody else.
So,
Yeah. We've got up here, top for me.
So when's part 3?
Part 3, we'll put part 3 in. Thanks for
the promotion
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And then obviously the run to
We'll
the Champions
do
League.
the new stadium. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the stadium, you only have to look at this window. I mean, the pitch, getting the last grounds I knew very well. I've known him for years, Martin.
Oh, yeah, Martin.
No,
God, he must have been here 20 years. So
top lad.
This guy, is he gone to Polska?
Yeah, but this guy, the new head groundsman, he's been head groundsman of the year twice.
he said the last of it about the
Yeah, pretty nice. And Chris Davies wants the best testing. And that shows you that there's no sentiment bit, I suppose.
Jay Hatson and Middo.
They do. Well, they have their one direction in terms of success. Listen, when I say no sentiment, I think they're very good to work for. You know, I know that Jeremy's very humble to the word, but he understands pragmatic. He would be always wary and helpful if you had a problem, if you're trying to help. So when I say sympathetic, I'm that in terms of the job, they're focused one way. We are going to be successful. And what we have to do to be successful, we're going to do. And I love that. And as a fan, wow. As a fan, I promise you can only be so excited. And if you're young, you've got the greatest years ahead of you. Don't forget us who suffered for your wonder, but listen, it's all part of the tapestry of football, isn't it? It's all part of our tapestry, and hopefully we'll have another Wembley trip.
Fingers crossed. Yep.
FA Cup,
That's it.
that's what I meant. And then the Champions League, I'm happy after.
Yeah, you only greedy. You don't
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
same.
Firstly, the FA Cup would do me like this.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Sorry, I do.
Pleasure as always. No.
Not ours. It's a pleasure listening to your voice.
Cheers.
Good to hear you, Tom.